Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. I'm finally doing it. I'm making this video. I've been trying to make this video and this channel for literally years now, and every single time I just give up whenever it gets difficult because I don't have the patience and time to do it. I'm basically going to do something very unoriginal and tell you guys my 16 and pregnant story. So I met my daughter's father in November of 2016, and we dated for about 9 months when I became pregnant in August of 2017. I was only 16 years old at the time. I was living with my parents, my 2 younger sisters, my younger brother, and my uncle, and I kept my whole pregnancy a secret from them for about 5 months, which is over half of my pregnancy. I actually kind of kept it a secret from pretty much everyone. Like, even at school, no one had known for the entire first semester of school, which was a huge chunk of my pregnancy. That was about 6 months worth of my pregnancy already through. I remember my ex calling my mom right before I decided to tell her about it, and he was basically just calling to apologize for what had happened because he blamed himself a lot for it, which obviously it wasn't just his fault. It takes two to tango. But when I went down to tell her, I just started crying because I am a people pleaser and I did not want to disappoint, and I felt like I really did. Overall, my mom was really supportive of it. She just wished I had came to her sooner and talked to her about it sooner. So my mom actually took the role of telling my dad and uncle, and surprisingly, they're both really supportive of it. Everyone in my family was really supportive of it. The only people who weren't really that supportive of it was actually my daughter's dad's family. They're supportive of it now, and they were supportive of it later on throughout the pregnancy, but the initial shock of it was a lot for them, and especially coming from a Orthodox background, it was not okay at first, I guess, to put it. Being pregnant young was a very humbling experience, to say the least. You really get to see people's true colors, and you learn really quick what the world is about. If people saw me in the store, they would ask me about what my plans were because they didn't think I was gonna get anywhere in life. They would say like all my friends are gonna be graduating and going to prom, and I'm still gonna be trying to finish my grade 11 year. And it was a lot because they were complete strangers who would say this. Because I got pregnant in the summer between my grade 10 and grade 11 year, I ended up not telling any of my friends until the end of first semester of grade 11. When I finally told my friends about the pregnancy, I got to see their true colors as well. Only one friend came to visit me in the hospital, amongst family, of course. But it was something I struggled with a lot because I didn't expect my friends, who I've been friends with for years, to just abandon me and our friendship because of one decision. Like, I still struggle with that to this day when I see posts on Instagram or just hearing other people talk about them. It's difficult because I don't have those types of friends anymore. I don't have a huge friend group anymore. I only have one friend, which I'll talk about a little bit later on in this video, instead of having like a group of them. I was leaving the high school to start at this place called the Rose of Sharon, which is a school for young moms where you can go do your schoolwork as an independent study, and they had a daycare in the room right next door, so you were close to your baby. And when they were like a newborn baby, you'd have them in the classroom with you. It was really nice. Actually, I really enjoyed it because for that second semester of grade 11 that I spent there, like, it wasn't just school. They also taught us like how to build a better bond with your baby. They taught us cooking classes. They gave us tips. Basically, parenting 101, if you want to call it. So, May 3rd of 2018, my daughter Laura was born. She was 6 pounds and 11 ounces. That's usually an average sized baby, but to me, she looked so small, so precious, and so innocent. After that summer of grade 11, I ended up deciding that I was done with independent study. I wasn't accomplishing as much as I knew I could. I decided to go back to regular high school. However, I wasn't going back to the high school I was at before. I was going to a new one. So I put Laura in a daycare that was attached to the school. So I went back and I worked my ass off so hard. The first semester of grade 12 went great. I met one of my absolute best friends, Hannah, who was also a teen mom. I had actually met her once or twice before at the Rosa Sharon, but she had moved, so I lost contact with her, I guess. We weren't really friends there either. We were just more acquaintances. But once I started this at this high school, I met her again and we became the best of friends. Like, we spent a minimum of 4 hours every single day together. We talked about mom stuff, we talked about parenting, and I guess that's where you kind of lose those other friendships in the past, was because you don't really have anything to relate to anymore. Like, they're talking about boys, I'm talking about my newborn baby. It just wasn't anything we could relate to anymore. Whereas with Hannah, like, her son was older than my daughter, so any question I had, I could ask her, she could give me tips, and vice versa. And she basically became my sister, and to this day, and we've been friends for over 2 years now, and to this day, when we talk to other people, we still refer to each other as our sister. So, on to a bit more of a depressing note. My ex, my daughter's dad, when I was with him, we fought every single day. Every single day, especially because we weren't close to each other, because me and my family had moved about 40 minutes away. He was very overprotective and very mentally draining. And it got to the point where every day I'd come to school and I'd talk to Hannah and tell her the problem or the issue or why we're fighting or why he's mad at me or why I'm mad at him. And it got to the point where Hannah, instead of just being supportive, she actually spoke back to me and said, "You realize that you're in a mentally abusive relationship. The relationship you're in is not a healthy one." And it took me a few days to process that and understand what she said, and when I actually thought about it, like, I realized she was completely right. He would overreact over stuff. He was way overprotective. He'd accuse me of cheating on him when I wasn't cheating on him, and I never did. I spent hours with Hannah, and he accused me of spending those hours with other guys, which was just not true, obviously. And it was just a lot, and he'd call me every name you could think of when he got mad at me. Like, we couldn't have an adult conversation because of how he would act about it. So, September of 2018, I finally, after just under 2 years of that relationship, I finally left. In the second semester of grade 12, I kind of lost myself as things at home deteriorated with my dad being an alcoholic. It was extremely mentally draining for me. I struggled a lot with my mental health. My grades were starting to drop. I skipped almost the entire semester. I don't know how, but somehow I managed to wake up one morning and realize that this is not the life I want for my daughter. So I kicked myself in the ass and I turned in assignments that weren't turned in on time, and I finally finished the year. Alright, so later that year, finally at the end, I made it. I graduated high school with an average of over 80%, which is a certificate of honors. And I also graduated on time. At that graduation, it was a lot for me. It wasn't just as simple as finally I'm done high school. It was like I was super proud of myself. It was a huge accomplishment. I did it with a dysfunctional family, a dysfunctional relationship, ending that dysfunctional relationship. And then on top of it all, I did it with a baby from the age of 4 months old to a year old. And I did it. Now we flash forward to now. So this September of 2020, I am starting my second year of university. So when I graduated high school, I went straight to university that following year, and I am in my second year now and doing okay. I'm gonna do a lot better this year, but last year I did slack off quite a bit. A lot happened in that year, but luckily for me, I met this guy who I've been dating for a half a year as of this September, and he is the healthiest relationship I've ever had. And I don't mean just the healthiest relationship as in with another guy. I mean a healthiest relationship in my life. I've never had this healthy of a relationship with my family, with friends, and it's something that I am going to cherish. Having him in my life for the last almost half a year now, it's been really refreshing. We are such complete polar opposites of people. We come from complete different dynamics of family, different like social standards, like different everything. So to have him in my life has really showed me a lot of who I am that I didn't know I was. And having me in his life, I can say for him, has definitely done the same for him. So Laura's dad and I, don't go give him hate if you know who he is. Don't be jerks about it. Obviously at that time we were both young and dumb and assholes to each other. Now we're on pretty good terms for the most part. He sees her every other weekend. Obviously there's still things we don't agree with, and obviously we still fight, but it's not nearly as unhealthy as it was when we were together. So now, Laura, she definitely has her opinions. She definitely has an attitude. I feel like I'm having a conversation with myself sometimes. It's so funny to talk to her. It's so fun to play with her. Like, the way she talks, the attitude in her voice is hilarious. And she's all around just this loving child. But all in all, this is probably a very long video, so I'm going to end it. Thank you guys for watching. I have been trying to do this, like I said, for years, and I'm finally doing it, and I'm excited to see what everybody says about it. I'm sorry if the quality is shit. I'm still trying to get equipment in to actually make it good. So you're just gonna have to bear with me a little bit. But thank you guys for watching. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe and do all the other stuff that professional YouTubers tell you to do.